dinner's ready. I made it with the freshest of ingredients from the market today. Sheila gave us a discount because she knows how special of a day it is for us, and, well, I'm sure you'd make her scream and cower if she gave me anything less than a perfect anniversary present. You know my happiness is your happiness, and your happiness is my happiness. Of course, of course. I just wanted to ask a quick question. Sorry, where did this come from? I know that you always told me not to go through your stashes. I know that adventuring was a lifetime ago for you, but I found this one on my side of the bed, and well, I almost feel silly that I didn't find it sooner because it glows. Because it glows and glows like I've never seen anything that glows, but I can't help but find that it feels. It feels familiar somehow. Warm and glowy and safe, like you make me feel, but more somehow, like instead of just knowing that a sweetheart like you would always love and care for such a fragile thing like me, there's something about this stone that tells me it. And tells me that it's true and it's right, and it just seems so familiar, like I've seen it somewhere before. But that's silly, right? I didn't even know it existed before today, and here I am basically pretending that I have any sort of emotional connection to a glow stick. But I still can't scratch that itch, you know? Like, I don't know, it's like deja vu. Like, I don't know. It's like deja vu. Maybe if I twist it, or I pull it, or I just bang on it with a rock, or... Ugh. What happened? Ugh. It feels like I've been gargling quicksand since I was 6. What in the... Where am I? Why am I wearing an apron? And who? Who are you? What is going on? All I remember is... Okay. Last year. Fuck, I can only remember back to the last year. Okay. Last year. Okay, let's run through the list. I was leading an archaeological investigation of the recently risen islands, or at the time, the recently risen, I mean, it was, or, I mean, at the time they were recently risen. I mean, it was referred to as something of a new Atlantis that came from a drought season, but Atlantis isn't even meant to exist. It's like explicitly a parable. It's like looking for Eden in Jacksonville, Florida, but this is real, and because it's real, some attempts of comprehending it actually has to be made beyond... Stay back! I have a killer backhand? I mean... Ugh. My muscle mass is somewhat negligible. Negligible after what seems to have been a year of scrubbing floors and baking cookies, but seriously, you don't know what I got. Wait, so I was to lead the expedition as the most qualified in my field, and I remember the exploration process was greatly, greatly complicated by the fact that you clearly aren't an ancient deceased civilization, so we had to rope in ethics boards and anthropologists and just complicate this whole rigmarole that's usually as simple as knowing when and where to wear the nitrile gloves, or what jobs need a pick or a fine-tooth comb. We can't just stomp in there willy-nilly. Yeah, but look, look, look. Moment of weakness. Ancient civilization just flat out rose out of the sea, and I was expected to wait the 3 years of linguists trying to learn how to communicate our understanding of consent and experimentation and research and what we might care about learning from an undiscovered new species of sentient human life forms, and I couldn't. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. Humanity remembers Neil Armstrong for being the first man to walk on the moon. But there aren't exactly national holidays to remember the proto-astro and cosmonauts alike who had to die to get them that close to the stars. History doesn't remember those who let life pass them by. History doesn't remember the careful, or the cautious, or the safe. History will remember me, because I am not about to let myself be forgotten. I'd die before I let it happen. Or rather, I'd die and it would happen anyways. Death is certain regardless of what I would wish for myself, but when stumbling between obscurity and immortality as the stakes I've chosen to wager, I've found that there are greater stakes than death being offered. I ventured out on my own, with the bare minimum in terms of supplies and without my crew. And look at where it got me. Playing house with... Ugh. I don't even know what you are! This whole charade is nothing if not a fascinating anthropological study on the nature of desire for an entire species, and here I am, baking pies and folding laundry. This isn't my life. This isn't how life's supposed to be. I still have time. I still have... such a pretty rock. It could be for science, because I'm a scientist. A scientist? No. 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 I'd never be a housewife. I'd never be a housewife. More women have lost their destinies to wifeydom than every plague, hurricane. That's one of them, right? No. I am too smart, too smart to not no my place. I'm a good lover and a good wife. And as long as I know that I have my wonderful darling who I'm grateful for at the start of every morning and at the end of every evening who drives me to a life well lived for the sake of myself, for the sake of my legacy, my and 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 how am I supposed to ensure my legacy will endure without 6 or 7 of those little seeds made for planting in that garden we never get to see? I yearn to be so full. I can never leave you. I don't know what put that thought in my head, but I must have thought it myself, but I don't know. I don't know why I'd ever think of something so cruel. Oh, darling, can you ever forgive me? Please, don't leave me unslaked. Now when I haven't heard the sound of little feet running down the halls, I'll never be able to keep that floor clean again, but you'll always tell me to try. I'm sorry, dear. I don't quite remember it, but I felt weirdly sad for some reason. And I don't know why. Oh, my mind. It comes and goes. I honestly don't know how you put up with me. I mean, I'm hardly the brightest bird on the bush, but you still try to get me. I know I'm weird here. I know I don't look or sound or talk like anyone else here. I could see 100 scenarios where I knew less people like you, and I'd be dead by now. I might shudder at the thought at another time, but not now, when I feel as safe and as warm and as warm and as loved as I ever could be. I may be strange in a strange land, but I don't have to be alone. This is all I am, and this is all I'll ever be. Oh, thanks, hon. Sometimes I need that. Now, how about we have some dinner? I got enough food to feed a horse, and I think then some somehow. Oh, a horse is a oh. Well, if you don't know it's probably not so important, right?